about that?
That's a really important question. AI and automation will definitely impact some industries with a lot of unskilled labor, like trucking or manufacturing, where automation can take over repetitive tasks. But on the flip side, AI will also create new opportunities and demand for different skill sets. So there will be a shift. It's definitely going to be important for people to learn new skills and adapt. And hopefully that means new kinds of jobs and opportunities will emerge as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. But see, if a self-driving car can replace a driver, then who is going to train the self-driving car? That's where
Definitely not a driver. Definitely not a driver. No. I'm saying, like, think about it, right?
yeah.
How does an AI predict the driving thing? Is like you kind of create a path. So how self-driving cars in Tesla? There are multiple types of self-driving cars. I think like I had a like a group project or something. Not me, but some of the other projects were using self-driving cars as their project. I kind of had the lecture there. So there's that they show like three methods, maybe like three methods of self-driving cars, and what Tesla uses was the better thing for me. So it kind of does this like I have A to B, I need to go, right? London to Liverpool or something like that, right? And I know a straight line will join it, right? But then it will kind of extrapolate like 3 points ahead, right? And it's trying to find, okay, which is the way I want to go. This 3 point this is called short-term memory, and London to Liverpool is the long-term memory, right? Right? And it's like, okay, I can go here. No. The road is not there. Okay, let me go this side. Okay, road is there. Let's go. But ultimately, the issue with it is like, it would actually, the camera sensor would actually look at the road and it would not understand it's a road. Probably the parameter is like the left side would be having a straight line, and in the middle it's like dotted line, right? That might be the short context of it. But if you go to the countryside or something like that, there is no like white lines there. So that time, I don't think AI would be like, okay,
If there's a problem, then definitely AI will come up with a better solution for that.
right? But it's more like, I think this pre-training in ChatGPT, what I read is like, we have a notion in our mind like, okay, pre-training is ChatGPT training itself, but definitely it's not like that. It's that pre-training part, like how ChatGPT responds to certain problem is like, if it's a mathematics problem, right? There are people like mathematics professors who sit there and they are asked a question and they answer to it, right? And then this is recorded. Okay, so this is a mathematical pre-trained model, right? Then it comes to a therapist, right? Psychologist or something like that. So there you need to have more empathy. Like people might be in a fragile space, right? Like if it's like, I'm having a bad day, I say, oh, go for it would be chaotic even at the end. So at that time, it would be like, it would try to understand how a therapist actually replies. And that is recorded. And then the AI kind of does a permutation on it. Okay, I can do like this, but if it is a mathematical question which is asked inside a therapeutical session, I could use a mathematical guy's kind of response, but also remember that I am a therapist right now, right? But end of the day, this pre-trained data is human trained, not AI trained. AI can only recognize patterns, I guess. What do you think? Like, does AI think for itself, or does it? Is it more in recognizing patterns?
AI is definitely more about recognizing patterns rather than truly thinking for itself. It processes vast amounts of data and learns from patterns and examples provided by humans, which is why that human input is so essential. It doesn't have consciousness or emotions. It's really just using complex algorithms to generate responses that seem thoughtful. So it's a powerful tool, but it's still very much grounded in the data and patterns it's been trained on rather than independent thought.
So what about the future scope? In the future, is there a scope of AI not being trained by patterns, and is there a scope for it to think for itself?
That's a big question in the AI world. Right now, AI is fundamentally based on pattern recognition and data. For AI to truly think for itself, it would need something closer to human consciousness, which we don't really know how to create yet. So for the foreseeable future, AI will probably continue to advance in terms of pattern recognition and problem solving, but true independent thought is still more of a sci-fi concept at this point.
Definitely. Like I see like the research paper saying like next big thing would be that like in the far like we never knew AI would be this good, right? Like there were voice assistants way before it. Like chatbot was not a thing of ChatGPT. Like back in the days, like mobile companies and everything had a chatbot, but it was so bad. Like, what is your number? It's a what is your name? Okay, then you're up halfway. You're like, it's not working. I need assistance, right? So, but right now, so I think how the world is going. Like you told me that you read an interesting book.
Yeah, it was a book, Homo by Harari.
Can you
Yeah, can you please let us know about the content of the book and what is described as the future of AI in that, and the future of human species as well in that book, please?
Sure. Homo by Yuval Noah Harari explores the future of humanity and how technology, including AI, might shape our evolution. He talks about how humans have moved from worrying about famine, plague, and war to focusing on achieving happiness, immortality, and even godlike powers. He suggests that AI and biotechnology could eventually lead to a new species or upgraded humans, and he dives into the ethical and philosophical implications of that. It's definitely a thought-provoking read.
What she mentioned, like about the ethical implications of AI, that is definitely the biggest. I would say that is a big step that we have to take, because
who is governing this ethics? Like, is it a lawyer who governs, or is it like a field that I can study?
That's an interesting question. Like, can you tell us what is the base of all the ethics around AI? Like, who creates that?
Who manages? Who is the authority who manages this?
Like, for example, if, OpenAI or like DeepSeek, whatever it is, and if they are going out of control, or if they are getting out of hand, which is the body that they are?
Unless regulatory body.
Yeah, what is the regulatory body who they are answerable to? Can you please tell us about that?
AI ethics is a really fascinating field, and it's still evolving. There are organizations and regulatory bodies that help guide AI development. For example, there are ethics boards within companies like OpenAI, and there are international guidelines and frameworks set by groups like the European Union or UNESCO. There's also a growing academic field around AI ethics. So it's definitely something you can study and specialize in. It's all about making sure AI is developed and used responsibly.
So, like, I heard that is sitting right there is somebody who was working as an accountant or something like that, and he was the first guy to pass on the regulation. Now it's like FDA for food approval, right? It's not a law organization, but it's like American Standard Food Association, which gives approval to any kind of food is coming in, importing or exporting. It's a regulatory body, right? Like, for example, in UK, it's like I have this issue with mangoes. So UK's regulatory body kind of like, if it is an imported mango from India, it's like back in India, mangoes are really sweet and juicy, right? But why, if you go to Lidl or Tesco, buy a mango, it's kind of bland for our taste at least, right?
So what we're used to.
Yeah, our reference is too good.
Yeah. You're too Indian for that.
Too much drop.
Too much to drop.
Well, the reason why it is like that is like, even I saw like a kind of what do you call it, movie or
Video.
Right, video. But that's bad. That's bad. Video, like saying that like one farmer like in like there's a certain kind of mango, and that's a place. So that farmer was saying, like, I can't ethically, like, in my conscious, I can't export my mangoes, because when I export it, it has to go through a process in order to be shipped, and that process involves, like, first mangoes are dipped in very hot water, like industrial grade thing, right? So the regulatory body says it's to tackle down the contamination. So it's like hot water will reduce the fungus, right? And cold water, and then immediately it's like sub-zero water it out, dipped in a sub-zero water to make it freezable kind of stuff for transport. But once you go through the process, the whole juiciness of that mango is gone. It's like frozen food right now, right?
Great. So essence is lost.
Essence is lost. You have something like when you go to a forest or for a hiking or something, and you pluck a berry or right out of the root. It kind of tastes better. Maybe it's your hunger, maybe it's the freshness, or maybe it's like earthy.
Maybe it's a thought of God inside us that this is natural, right? Maybe there is a given theories.
I really think like that, right? I think spirituality kind of dive deep in it. Like people say, like we have issue. Like when I eat, I kind of bench was or something parallelly. But in Hinduism and in many cultures say, like when you are eating, you are what you consume. So right. So whenever you're consuming something, you need to, like in Japanese culture, before a meal, they kind of thank you for the meal. Purely anime hit. So I think even in India, I have, I guess, like in during my school days, right? Yeah. So there was like, if lunch comes in, it's like asatom. I don't remember something.
It's a prayer.
It's a prayer, right? Yeah.
To show the respect towards the meat.
Towards the meal, right? So I think that might also increase the taste of it.
If you do anything with respect, right, that increase the value of the particular thing that we consume or that we do it. That's a subconscious thing. Like for example, we are consciously eating a piece. Yeah, consciously. Yeah, that also makes sense.
We are just. But so Osho has this thing, right? So I was like reading through Osho, and he was like saying, why do we smoke and why do we eat junk food? It's kind of a carnivorous approach towards life. So man is restrained by society. Like he is like designed to go running. He's designed to move, but society rewards a person who is like sedimentary at the moment.
It's like basically the reward in the sense monetary rewards, money kind of the way.
No, it's like for example, I am buying a Ferrari F50. It is designed to go fast. It is designed to cut corners. But I'm driving in a grocery shop. It doesn't have boot. Right? Why it was made and how it is utilized is different. So our body and our human as a species, like think of it like in evolution terms, right? Like whoever is fit will survive. That's how evolution goes, right? So at least for my understanding.
Survival of the fittest.
Survival of fittest. So our survival was, we could, like cheetah could run 70 miles an hour, but our advantage is we can pace long hours. Right? We can go. We can't compete with a gazelle, or we can't compete with any like animal that we want to hunt. But what we can do is we can track it, right? So the hunters would be like, okay, the leaves are, there is paw print there, or the leaves are segmented. Okay, he's still going, and we are going to chase him down. So the animal kind of, prey predator mentality. It will kind of do some act to get away, and we kind of do our act to catch it. Right?
Man is like the smartness in man, how it has evolved over the years. That is what has taken us to here. And we are having a machine.
This might be the next revolution.
Right? This can be the next revolution. What, like that can also be a topic of discussion. Like there are some innate skills in humans. Like for example, the physical activities that we are doing. For example, running, walking. or whatever that we do in order to maintain our physical health. So how is it going to uh, have an impact with the intervention of artificial intelligence, especially when all the things that we have to get done gets automated, the tasks get automated, everything has to be everything. There's a machine to replace that. So how
ethics.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So how is that going to affect the physical health and the capabilities of human?
I think more not a physical health, like what kind of human would be there?
True. Yeah. That is also a fact. That's also a question. What do you think about that?